Have you ever experienced a time in your life where you lost hope, where everything around you seemed to be falling apart? It might be something personal that no one has ever known about. It might be a dead-end problem. It might be the loss of someone close to you. Imagine how the disciples must have felt when Jesus suddenly appears into their lives for 3 exciting and challenging years, and suddenly he is crucified. Imagine how Mary and Martha must have felt when Lazarus was sick to death and he suddenly disappears and shows up late. I know I'm not the only one that has felt like this before. Situations that no matter what you do, they seem to have no solution. This was probably what the disciples felt, betrayed and left alone after so many years of doing ministry together. Day 1, Day of Notice. Some theologians agree that Jesus was crucified on a Friday and then resurrected on a Sunday. If this is true, we could call this first day the Day of Notice. The day when you got the phone call telling you your best friend died on a car accident. The day when your scholarship was not approved. The day where you got fired from your job. The day where you go back home to a spouse willing to sign the divorce papers. This is the day when the disciples got the news that their Messiah would not be with them anymore. Day 2, Day of Silence. The first day seems to be tough, but nothing hurts more than a silence. Josh Billings once said, "Silence is one of the hardest arguments to refute." So you might have had the bad news the day before, but this is the time in your life when it all seems lost. You would not see your best friend again. Your scholarship status has not changed. You're still unemployed, and your spouse just left the house. This is the day when the disciples wonder if Jesus will come back as he said he would, remembering every moment that they had together, all the way from fishing together to feeding thousands of people. Day 3, Resurrection Day. The day we all have dreamed about is finally here. Albert Einstein once said, "Learn from yesterday, live for today, and hope for tomorrow." This is the day when Jesus rose from the dead and fulfilled every written prophecy. Resurrection is not an event, it's a person, and that person is Jesus. So no matter what your loss was, God always shows up on time. Do not tell God how big your problem is. Tell your problem how big your God is. In Luke 6, we see how the Pharisees were complaining to Jesus why he was doing unlawful things on the Sabbath, which means Saturday. His response was, "The Son of Man is the Lord of the Sabbath." Jesus is in control of their silence. It may look tough, it may seem that your problem has no solution, but no matter what the circumstance may be, never lose hope.